Hello everybody and welcome to the Super Negative Clickbait Show with your host, Monguli. Now, we're going to be going over a blog that came out hours ago because I was stuck at work and I just kind of had to watch this fire going off in the community and I couldn't really do anything about it, but now I'm home and I've got some thoughts and they're not all positive, but they're not all negative either. So hopefully we can talk this out and see where we actually are going to land on this event because quite frankly, it doesn't seem as bad as the community thinks it is, but it's also not good. Let's get into it. All right, the blog is called Logan, You Still Have Time, and it's going to start off by just going over the history of the character and whatnot, and then it's going to go into the actual kit for the character. I've got a breakdown for the entire Merch for Money team on YouTube right now that you can go check out, so we're not going to go over it here, but you know that exists if you do want to hear my take on that. What we're going to do is start talking about the Old Man Logan trials. We know from further on in the blog that it's going to start around May 2-4, so it'll be coming out in a little less than a month. It's open for commanders level 50 and above, and there's going to be a first-time leaderboard that's going to start at 100k instead of 400k, so it is fairly friendly for newer players, and that's a good thing. Now, as far as the bad things go, you do need to have your characters at 4 stars or above if you want to get a 5-star or higher Old Man Logan, or at least that's what we have to assume. Smart Money is guessing that. It doesn't technically say that anywhere here, but I'd be shocked if that's not the case. You're going to unlock Old Man Logan at 4 yellow stars by completing difficulty 8 and scoring about 930,000 points. There are going to be 15 difficulties instead of 10 difficulties, with some of those requiring 5, 6, or 7 yellow stars on your Cabal and your out of time characters. Now, yes, we could get very upset about the fact that they said that Cabal was not going to be a required team, and now that it is a required team, they kind of went back on their word. Things change. Everything is subject to change. I'm not going to get bent out of shape on that one. If you want to get mad in the comment section, go nuts. This is something that I don't love, upgrade tokens. Now, in theory, I like the idea of upgrade tokens because when I first thought about them, I was thinking you could get tokens for older characters, so you wouldn't have to spend the resources to bring up a dead character, essentially, but you still get to play with them at a decent level. I keep bringing up the example of like Daredevil. Daredevil has never been good in this game since I started playing, but I like the character. If I could earn a token through an event that gave me like a level 85 Daredevil where I didn't have to spend the resources, the money, the training mats, that would be pretty cool. I don't know that I'd use them anywhere anyways, but it'd be fun to have. That kind of idea with tokens, I like. This one scares me, and I'll tell you why. So for the trial, you're going to unlock tokens, not shards for the character, and the token is going to give you a certain star level for the character. So for this one, if you beat difficulty 8, you get your 930,000 points, you're going to get a token that's going to give you a 4-star character. Now, the potential nice side of that is you don't need to spend you don't need to spend gold to get that character, but also the gold required to get to 4 stars is pretty minimal, so that's neither here nor there. But that's the only real upside I see. The negative is if this event comes around and you get 930,000 points, you're going to get a 4-star token. And then if this event comes around a second time and you get 930,000 points, you're either going to get nothing or a 4-star token that's going to go in your inventory and do nothing for you. Like, if this is a 4-star character, that's what, 180 shards. If you did this event a second time, that would be another 180 shards, which would get you to level 5. Second time around, or third time around, to get you to level 6. And then probably take a couple times to get to level 7 after that. I'm not doing the math 100%. But you know what I'm saying? Like, the more times it comes around, the better you're going to get. With this, you will need to, and again, I'm assuming the event's not actually out yet, but you will need to continuously building up your out of time and Cabal characters. So the further we get away from this, the worse it's going to kind of get. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely not as good as it used to be. The first run leaderboards, as we mentioned, you're going to be able to start it with only at 100k, which is fine. I think that's actually good for newer players. And then I highlighted this next sentence because honestly, the sentence structure just bugs me a little bit. Climb the ranks and don't miss out on the top rewards of 7 and 6 yellow stars. It's really weird that he went higher and then lower, and he does it again in a second. Old Man Logan upgrade tokens. Old Man Logan red stars from 3 to 7. Now that's good because you can actually get 7 red stars during this event, which is fantastic. Usually you cap out at 5 and you have to buy your way up for the other ones, so that's nice. Crimson gear and teal gear. Again, why do you put the better reward before the worst reward? The sentence structure is weird, but we get the point across. So you're going to be able to get red stars for your character, which is good. Crimson gear, which is great. And potentially 6 or 7 yellow stars, but I'm assuming only if you know, have really spent a lot of money on this game. The run is the exact same way Scourges have been. You can do them as many times as you want, and your most successful run or your highest point run is the one that's going to count. Try and clear all 10 nodes to get the biggest score you possibly can. There's nothing really new going on there. There are the 15 difficulties instead of the 8 difficulties, and after I think it's difficulty 11, you start getting gated by having to have, difficulty 11, you need to start having 5-star characters for Out of Time and Cabal plus Emma Frost and Loki. And that's another weird point of contention. Emma and Loki are weird characters to have chosen to go with Cabal. They don't necessarily help the Cabal out all that much. Maybe Emma's going to give him a bit of a speed burst, but that's kind of it. And they're both, like, Loki, okay, you probably have a pretty high Loki because he's on the Bifrost team right now, so you probably don't have to worry about that. They've both been out for long enough that you should have them at 7 stars. And Namor, so it's like 3 of the 5 members, so there's that. But, like, I don't know many people that have their Emma built up all that high. Like, I don't know about you guys, I think my Emma's, like, maybe 60,000 points. Like, she's just high enough to basically do what she needs to do with time manipulation, and that's it. So it's a weird choice, but, like, okay, so be it. It is what it is. Now, if we'd actually take a look at the chart, it's going to show us exactly how we're going to progress through these 10 nodes. So difficulty 15 is the highest. We got 10 nodes we have to do. It starts restrictions at difficulty 5. So you can do the first 4 difficulties without having to need the Out of Time or the Cabal team for if you're a newer player. And it starts the star restriction at 11. So you've got kind of 5 to 10 to play with if you're, you know, a mid player. Now, it mentions here that difficulty 8 is the minimum you're going to be able to do to get a 4 yellow star Old Man Logan. But because it's a token, I don't think you're getting any shards or anything for Logan up until this point. So essentially, if you can't do difficulty 8, you are making no progress towards Old Man Logan. And if you can do difficulty 8, you're pretty much guaranteed a 4-star Logan. We don't know where the 5-star, 6-star, and 7-star Logans are, but I have to assume that you're going to have 5 stars of Out of Time and Cabal to get the 5-star Logan, 6 stars, and 7 stars. Like, that just makes the most sense, but it doesn't technically say that anywhere that I can find. Now, people are complaining about Emma. The nice thing with Emma is you only actually need her for 1 node. So if you don't want to build up your Emma, like I don't really want to build my Emma up, theoretically, she's at 7 stars, so she's fine from that requirement. And after that, there's no level requirement for her. And if she dies, she's only needed on this 1 node. So if you can complete mission 6, even if Emma dies with the other characters, then you're still going to have your entire Out of Time team and the Loki and Cabal to complete this last node. Like, Cabal, Loki, Black Knight, I feel like will do pretty well, is my guess. The only problem would be if you need a sack team. Then you'd need your Emma to stay alive to sack this last node and then go in with whatever you have left over. That's the only real issue. Other than that, I don't know. I'm just not that pissed off about Emma because I'm gonna have resources ready, but I'm not gonna build her up until I actually try this event and decide then, oh, I actually need her to survive, or no, we're good. She can just die on that 1 node. We'll complete the node and move on without her. That's kind of what I'm thinking is gonna happen, but we'll have to see. Now, as far as the other nodes go, we've got no restrictions, Cosmic Bio, Hero Skill, and then Villain, and then they just repeat themselves. So let's take a look at what we've got for options for those teams. All right, so first up is Cosmic Bio, and you can see if you've got them unlocked, you've got access to Super Skrull, Void Knight, Nova. That's probably good enough right there. My Photon's pretty highly built, and then we're just going to take a 5th character of almost literally anybody. My thing is the highest, but, you know, Cosmo's got heals on his kit, so whatever. Like, it's going to be the Super Skrull show, let's be honest. Void Knight is there for backup, Nova's fantastic, and then kind of whatever you've got built up after that. Hero Skill has the entire Spider Society team, as well as Black Knight and Kestrel, so again, I think you're going to be doing pretty okay with this node. I don't see it being all that difficult. In fact, there is a Scourge that calls out Spider Society specifically, so you should be totally fine. And lastly, you've got Villain, which does include the Cabal team if you want to do that route. You've got Super Skrull, Apocalypse, Dormammu, Kang, like the Superior 6, Black Cat. Like, you've got so many options for this team. I can't imagine anybody having an issue with the Villain nodes. All right, we're not going to go over all the nodes, but I just want to point out a couple of them. You've got World at War, which will turn on all of your war abilities. And of course, Out of Time is a war team. You've got Godspeed Spider-Man, which turns on your Spider Society, and of course that's needed for 2 of the nodes. And you've got Forged in Fire, which all Crucible allies abilities, sorry, are active in this run. So that's your Cabal team. So you're going to be able to turn on a bunch of your heroes. I also just like this one, Mysterio's Triumph. Hero characters deal an extra 10% damage to other hero characters. If you've read the old Man Logan comics, you know that Mysterio tricked Wolverine into killing all of the X-Men. So this is actually pretty thematic and I like it. Other than that, we've got the Red in the Tooth and Claw event coming out in the near future, which is going to have Out of Time and Cabal character shards, which is going to be really, really handy if you're right near the edge of leveling up to a different character level. Like maybe you're hopefully really close to getting to a 5-star character. This will help push you over the edge. Hopefully. It is an orb event, I want to say. Yes, it is an orb event. So it's going to be probably a bit of a lottery. Hopefully the drops are good on that, but we don't really know much more. There's also going to be a pocket dimension incoming. Now this is a brand new pocket dimension. It's not just a rework of the old pocket dimension. And it does say that it's designed with the Cabal team in mind to power up the evil geniuses. It does not mention shards. So I don't know if we're going to get more shards for the Cabal team, or if it's just going to be like uniques or something like that. Some way to level them up, whatever. Hopefully shards. But worst case scenario, I'll take some uniques to try and get them up to the next level. That'd be okay with me. But shards are obviously the gatekeeper for this event, so that's what we actually need more of. Okay, now what are the pros and cons of this event? Quite frankly, the old legendary events sucked. And so when they brought out the new Scourge trials and they did those things, they were a lot of fun. And apparently they were a bit too good because Scopely wasn't seeing enough return on investment from them. So they're just, everybody wants you to think that this is the worst thing that could possibly happen to Marvel Strike Force. Really, it's just the pendulum swinging back a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is a good thing. That's not what I'm trying to say. I just don't think it's necessarily as sky is falling down as a lot of other people are saying. I don't think it's nearly as bad as the legendary events used to be. I can remember when I was playing this game, admittedly, I was not end game by that point, but I was, you know, mid game. And like the Omega Red event came and I didn't unlock him. And that was relatively normal. And the second time through, that's when I unlocked my Omega Red. This looks like it's going to be a very easy 4-star unlock for me. So it's better than it used to be. The problem is, in between those two events, we had the old Scourges, or the new Scourges, I guess, where you could, like I've heard tell of people getting 6 or 7 stars on the first run. So now people are, I hate to say it, a little bit, I don't mean this in whatever. People are a little bit spoiled because of that. Right? Like people are like, oh man, I can get 7 stars in one run with this character. Well, that's great, but where's the return on investment for Scopely from that? I'm not trying to show for the company, like they can do their own dirty work and whatnot, and some of this is pretty dirty work. But it is a business. They need to make some money, and if you can work free to play and get 7 stars on one pass, there's something wrong there. Now, again, I'm not saying that what we're getting right now is good. I just think, like, let the event happen first before we, you know, grab our pitchforks and torches. There's a possibility this event won't be nearly as bad as we think that it is. I don't think it'll be as much fun as it used to be. I don't think you'll be able to min-max it like you used to be able to. Those are both pretty much gone, it sounds like. It looks like things are going to be very, very heavily gated. It looks like the leaderboard is going to be like whales only. Like you and me, we need not apply. And I say that as somebody who does buy battle passes and strike passes and even the occasional offer here and there. Like I'm not free to play, but I'm definitely not a whale either. So I might walk away from this event depending on what these next, like the Red in the Tooth and Claw event look like and what the Dark Dimension look like. I might walk away with a 5-star. That's possible. And I want to say that's kind of where I landed with, you know, Nova, Green Goblin, and Black Cat. So this event might not affect me all that much, at least at first. The negative is the token system. Because with the token system, at some point, I might need to level up those teams to gear tier 18, 7 stars, max them all the way out in order to get 7 stars for Old Man Logan. Maybe that'll be fine. Like eventually, once Mephisto is kind of running everywhere, everybody's got gear tier 19, like they loosen the purse strings on that stuff. Maybe that won't be so bad, but how far away is that? Like how long are we gonna have to wait before we can potentially get our 7-star on this? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. That's kind of my whole point. Like, let's put the pitchforks away until we know a little bit more. There's so many unanswered questions with this. We don't even technically know if you require 5 stars to earn a 5-star. Maybe you can do difficulty 10, put on all the packs, and you can like squeak by and get that 5-star. I doubt it. I really doubt it, but we don't know. All right, it's tired. I'm going to get out of here. Leave a comment down below. What do you think? Is this the worst event that could possibly happen in Marvel Strike Force, or is this just par for the course? Are you really that pissed off about having to use the Cabal team, or are you kind of okay with it because you built them up anyways because Cosmic Crucible is the most fun you can have in this game and they're one of the best teams now? Let me know down in the comments below. If you have no thoughts whatsoever, leave your favorite emoji because the engagement will help the show out. So that's awesome. Other than that, if you made it this far in the video, please consider hitting the like button. You probably did enjoy it if you made it this far. And if you want to see more content like this, hit subscribe. We're usually live on twitch.tv/TheMongoolie Show 3 times a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. So hit the follow button over there if you want to see when we go live and we can have a conversation in real time. Other than that, Commanders, you have a great day and we'll catch you next time. Good luck to you.